Howdy folks, it's Untitled Chapter here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and yes, we're at the end of the runway, all ready to go instead of at a parking spot cold and dark, and yes, it's raining, and yes, it's night, and that's because we're going to fly toward a Jack of all planes achievement today. And if you want to know why I start these particular flights at the end of a runway ready to go, and the logbook and counting everything because of all the work involved, just watch the previous video where I talk at great length about those things. And I'm not going to go after that conversation yet again. So just watch the clip in the previous video. Otherwise, we have an added challenge today, and that is that we've added night and rain. And the reason for that is because these are such long flights and they take so much work as it is, we might as well get credit for towards the rain and nighttime achievement as well. And then once we catch up with the nighttime and rain, we'll finish these with just clear skies so we can see what the heck we're doing. We have another additional challenge today in that this airplane does not have autopilot. At least I don't think it does. Some of the airplanes you can actually force autopilot by using your keyboard commands. For example, the VL3 doesn't have autopilot controls, but the real life airplane does. So what I did for that aircraft is I just use keyboard commands. Will those apply in this aircraft? I'm going to try. I don't think it will, and I don't think it would, because I don't think this in real life has autopilot. It may or may not. In the sim, it does not. But can we force it? We'll try. Nothing to lose by trying to force it with keyboard commands. Otherwise, if there's no autopilot, which I don't believe there is, this is going to be a long flight. It's about 2 hours, 45 minutes, probably 3 hours. You know how it always takes me longer to get places. And that's hand flying the whole time. We're going to do it. Of course, you're going to watch this severely or significantly edited down version of the flight. In fact, it's probably going to be a short video when it's all said and done. But it's 3 hours of hand flying for me, hitting pause when I need to do things like, well, it's really late at night, so I don't know what I need to do other than go to bed afterwards. But other than that, hand flying in the rain, in the clouds for 3 hours at night. How exciting. But we're going to do it because it's a challenge and we can. Oh yes, we can use the AI Copilot, but I tried that in another flight and it's generally pretty bad. One time the Copilot nosedived into the ground, another time they climbed until way above the service ceiling of the aircraft, another time they banked 10 degrees to the right or to the left actually forever. So anyway, we will see what we can do. Let's take a screenshot here on the ground. Let's put the drone away. I think that's more than enough of an introduction. Otherwise, we're going to have to rely heavily on our VFR map because there's no GPS or anything in this. Now, as far as the Jack of all planes things go, I do have a secret to tell you, and I'm going to tell you in the air. I have a secret to share with you all, but I'm not going to tell you until we are airborne. Now, this thing does have cockpit lighting. But what's weird about it, oh, there we go. Earlier, I had all the lights off and it was super bright inside. It wasn't the flashlight, that's this. It wasn't the flashlight, it was just super bright. But now, everything is working the way it should. There we go. Just one click. Perfect. Whoop. Good, I'm very excited. Okay, because I was going to say there's this weird, like, cabin light I couldn't find, but never mind. I found it. It just works now. So the story started up, ready to go. Some of the lights we could do, blah, blah, blah. If we were doing a regular flight without worrying about the logbook and all that crap, counting and everything, we would do this cold and dark. But we're not going to do it that way today. Again, check the previous video for why. So we're going to take off. Then I'm going to tell you my secret. Otherwise, I think we're on a runway. I told it to start us on a runway. We are going to go full flap down because of it. I don't hear my flaps. This does have flaps, right? I'm sure it does. I saw them back here. Yeah, they're going down now. Okay. We're going to do full flap just because I don't know how long this runway is, and we are going to spool up with the brakes on, because again, I don't know. I don't know how long this runway is. Of course, you would probably not do this particular runway at night, but I am trying to do a new takeoff or new departure and new landing every time. The new landing, of course. New landing. Oh my gosh, we're going to run on a runway. The new arrival, I'm concentrating on that grass. The new arrival every time, of course, is so that we can get credit towards the 500 airport achievement, which we may reach in 10 years. Can we lift off yet? Okay, Slow. Careful. First set of flaps coming in. Very careful with the speed. Sorry, I'm concentrating. We're in the Midwest. I didn't tell you where we were. Of course, you can always check the description. But we started out, I don't even know where we started out. So that's why I didn't tell you. We're in like, I don't know. We're in the Midwest. And then we're heading to Des Moines. North of Des Moines. Regional airport there. Oh my, you gonna get some speed going here? We're still within flap range though. We're gonna have a very slow ascent. Very slow. Some of these lights are driving me crazy. Maybe turn that one down. Okay. Alright, I think we're under control. We're just gonna follow this highway for a minute. And then, I know I didn't announce our departure. Yes, I did. When you do start up, it does automatically. Alright, so we need to turn around, I guess. So let's zoom in a little bit. And turn around. Whoops. Too many controls on my yoke. Alright, now we're getting some speed. Okay, now we can climb. We'll climb to about, I don't know, 4,500 or so. Sorry, I'm just concentrating here. Turning all the way around. Wow, that was a quick turnaround. There we go. Let's follow this road a little bit. So no GPS, so we're gonna have to use a VFR map. I have no problem doing that. Jack of all planes, you fly each plane 300 miles. It doesn't specify miles or nautical miles. People assume it means regular miles, but I've been doing nautical miles just to be safe. Just so we don't have to redo it, because it does take between 2.5 and 3 hours or more to fly each of these flights, except for the jets. And you're flying all 20 of the standard edition aircraft 300 miles or more. So it takes a long time, but I'm doing it. And we did one yesterday's video, I believe, if everything is uploaded as I expect it to be, predict it to be. And today we're doing this one, hand flying. We will try the AI Copilot just to see what it does. And we will try forcing Autopilot just to see if it works. But I plan to hand fly. So now for my big secret is we hop outside and take a look at wherever we are. There's a couple people living there anyway. Actually, no, we're not going to do this outside because I can't fly that way. Alright, whoa, wrong highway. Let's follow this road over here. So my big secret, which isn't a big secret, I just wanted to get your attention because that's how YouTube works. I've been doing a ton of flying off camera without you all. Oh, there's that rain. So now we have to just use our instruments because we can't see anything. I've been doing tons of flying without you all. I know I feel guilty. I feel like I'm cheating on y'all, but I got so far ahead. Well, watching those instruments very carefully. I got so far ahead in videos because I've been up so late every night to get my alone time in that we're at 3,400 feet. See, I'm just watching my instruments. I have no idea what's going on. We could just fly like this all the way there, but that's kind of tiring. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Watching that speed's getting kind of low, so let's pitch down but barely. I had it trimmed until we turned into the freaking wind, tailwind, and now it's all over the place. We will eventually trim this out and shouldn't have to do a whole lot. Man, this thing is slow. This thing is slow. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you my secret. That's not so big. Oh, I've been doing a ton of flying. I've done like 40 hours or more off camera without you all. A lot of it, I've been doing a lot of these jack of all planes flights. I've done a few hand flying, but I'm kind of saving the hand flying ones for you all. I've been doing them all at night in the rain to get towards those achievements. Doing that a lot. That's basically what I've been doing off camera. Just these long flights late at night. That way I don't have to really talk to anybody, as much as I love talking to you all. When it's midnight 1 a.m., it's nice just to crank up the sound, not have a microphone pop filter 2 inches in front of my face, and just be able to fly with lots of sound in my ears for 3 hours at a time and not worry about screwing up and getting judged on YouTube because I did carb heat too soon or some crap like that, right? So it's been different. I'm not going to say it's nice because I missed recording everything I do, But anyway, I've been doing a ton of these Jack of all planes flights. In fact, I'm halfway done already. That's the big secret. We did one yesterday, we're doing one today. I've done half of them off camera. As soon as I'm caught up on the night stuff and the rain stuff, then we'll do the rest together in the daytime where we can see pretty things. But it would be boring if I did 20 or 18 or however many flights to catch up in the dark, in the rain, for 3 hours at a time. You just would not want to watch that, right? So what I've been doing is doing them off camera. And then once we can turn the sunlight back on and turn off the cloud or the rain, then we'll do the rest of them on camera. And those will be a lot of the more boring aircraft to fly. So that way when I do talk to everybody, it gives me something else to do. Because, doing some of this at 1 a.m. over and over all by myself is kind of boring. So anyway, that's my secret. I rehearsed it, which means it came out all wrong, but that's okay. So we're just going to hand fly for a minute here until I get stabilized. Where the clouds and rain go? Did I get up too high? There's some rain. I see the rain now in the window. See in the window? Can't really tell with the glare. It's there. It's there. It's still raining. Let's get stabilized or established, however you want to say it. And then we will try the AI Copilot just to see what they do. They're either going to make us climb or nosedive, probably. And then we'll try forcing autopilot. And then I'm just going to hand fly, give a little bit of sightseeing, and just come back in that in the video. I'm not going to make you watch 2 hours of sightseeing. This is going to take forever. Anyway, we're pretty much established. Let's see what the AI Copilot does. All right, so now let's try the AI, and let's see what they do. Okay, they're climbing a little bit. I'll also keep track of this. Okay, how high are they going to climb? Now, I have a theory that if you set in your flight planning screen where you do your airplane, weather, time, departure, arrival, and route type, like in this case VFR, GPS direct, I'm wondering if you do the nav log and select an altitude, if your AI Copilot will search for that. I don't totally think so, because I set it to like 6,000 once and had my plane at 6,000 and it nosedived. I did 4,500 once and it went to like 8,000 or something, so I don't know. But in this case, we're not climbing too much, which is good. Now the question is, what's going to happen when we get here? Is the AI Copilot going to keep us on our track? If this works, this is going to be the first time for me that this has worked, because I've tried it twice before. And like I said, one time I had altitude problems, either up or down, and the other time it turned us in a 10-degree bank indefinitely, and nope, it just flew right by us. So would it eventually turn like this? I don't know. Or do we just have to kind of turn it off every now and then to get us back on track? You know what I mean? Don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's straighten back out again here on our track, and then we're going to try forcing. We're going to try forcing autopilot. So we can't, because we have a heading bug. Never mind. Let's get everything reset there. Never mind, because my autopilot, there's no altitude to force, and there's no heading to force because there's no heading bug. Because remember, those are the three things that I'm able to do. Well, you can do 20 different commands, but to keep it as most basic principle, turn on autopilot, force nav, force heading, force altitude. Let's turn on autopilot. Let's see what happens. And let's force nav. Where are my keys? I can't see my microphone. I'm forcing nav based on our map, and nothing's happening. Okay? And I still have control of the aircraft, which means your autopilot's not engaged, which I don't expect it to. Remember, I don't expect autopilot to work via keyboard command, but I'm still trying, because you don't know unless you don't know unless you try first, right? All right, let's get back here. Okay, what if I do altitude? I don't expect anything to happen because I don't have anything to tell it what to do. It's climbing more steeply, but that's probably because I just stopped turning. And let's try heading. Is it going to turn? Nothing's happening. Let's go through our path, and then we'll try the heading or the nav thing again and see what happens. Just one more time, and then we'll just fly on our own here in a moment. All right, we're gonna fly through our path, and there it is. Now let's see if if I do nav with my keyboard command, if it'll turn us back. And nothing is happening as expected. Okay, so there we go. Autopilot will not work even with keyboard commands. The AI kind of works. Kind of, maybe. Maybe what I'll do is I'll hand fly for a while and then use AI pilot to give me a little break, and then when they get too far off course, I'll kind of come back. I don't know. That just adds time though, right? Zigzagging adds a lot of time, especially over the course of 300 miles. That would add like half an hour or 20 minutes at least. So we'll see. Anyway, that is a very long and wordy start to this. I just want to tell you what's going on while I'm doing it and how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, all that stuff. I'm just going to hand fly, but once I get this, on track here and trimmed out, I'm going to actually come down to 5,000, I think. Once I get it trimmed out and back on track, shouldn't take much input from me just to fly. I just have to pause it every time I get up for something and hopefully not fall asleep. I did fall asleep during the flight. I totally fell asleep during the flight the other night. But anyway, it's the only time I get my alone time is to fall asleep at my sim setup, I guess. Alrighty, so there you go. A little bit of sightseeing for you, not much. It's just going to be a few dots and clouds and lights. That's it. Maybe if there's a big town, I'll make sure I get it in sightseeing. But other than that, minute of sightseeing, maybe two. And I'll see what's time to come down in a lot of hours. See you then. Alright, just giving you a mid-flight update, and this is basically how I've been spending my last hour and 23 minutes or so, is just staring at gauges. And right now everything seems okay. We were at 5,000 feet. The weather's kind of okay. See how the VSI goes up whenever we hit a cloud and storm stuff, which we can't really tell because of the glare, but whenever we get turbulence or something, this VSI goes crazy. So I'll get it perfectly set how I want it, and then bam, we'll hit something. And we've worked our way down to 4,000 feet. I was trying to stay around 5,000, but with the wind and trimming to accommodate all the turbulence, it kind of wants to sit at 4,000, which is okay. I'm hoping over the next hour and a half here to work my way back up to 4,500. Not that we need to, because the train is actually going down. I believe the train below us, when I looked on Google Maps, or the airport nearby, is like 1,100 feet. So we're about 3,000-ish or so above the train. So it's not as close to the ground as it looks, but it'd be nice to be a little bit higher. But I'm having a hard time here. You see all the things shaking around. It's actually a lot more difficult than it looks. I'm not even touching my yoke. I'm just tapping it barely, and it's just all over the place. So it's not like I'm overdoing the yoke or anything like that. But yeah, now it's a 4,100. It wants to sit around here. So 4,100, take away 3,100, or 4,100, take away 1,100, puts us at 3,000 above ground level, like I said. Anyway, that's what I've been doing for the past, whatever time I said it was, hour 27 minutes or something. And then every once in a while I'll pull out my map just to make sure we're staying on the pink line. I've been doing a pretty good job without staring at the map, but every once in a while, like now when I start talking, I get off a little bit. See, there it is, it's settling at 4 grand again, which is trimmed for that. It was trimmed for 45, and now it's trimmed for 4 because of the crazy weather I was getting. So I plan on getting back up. Well, you trim for speed, but at the speed with this weather, that equates to 4,000, right? Makes sense? You trim for speed, you don't trim for altitude. So anyway, let's see. What else can I say? Not a whole lot. I've been playing with my lights off and on just because of the glare, but then I can't see what I'm doing. So let's hop outside. Oh, you can see we're kind of cockeyed there. I did have to do a lot of alien trim, though, because it kept going to the left pretty significantly. And now it's trimmed to the point where sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes left, depending on the weather at that moment. So that's where we're at with that. I gave you some screenshots, some sightseeing spots in the clouds and in the middle of nowhere. And if you look at the map now, we're coming up on Lincoln, and then after that is Omaha. So I plan to get that in my sightseeing. And we are firewalled. We're past the red line, but whatever. It's already going to take me over half an hour longer than it was supposed to. So we're looking at least 3 hours for this flight. I probably, if I went much higher, I could probably go a little bit faster ground speed wise, but we're just going to leave it like this. I hopefully will be able to see Lincoln and Omaha, even with the clouds when we get there. So anyway, that is your mid-flight update. I'm going to go for another whatever it is. And hopefully I stay awake. And I'll see you again soon. Alright, let me tell you, this is a test of patience. To sit here for pretty much 2 hours and 45 minutes, maybe even 2 hours and 15 minutes, 5-0. Look at the baseball field down there. We are finally getting somewhere. Let's hop outside. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Des Moines, Iowa area. I'm assuming it is. It actually snuck up on me. I was following the map. Stepped away to go to the restroom for a couple minutes, came back, and of course my airplane was all over the place because no autopilot, right? And I look up and I'm like, wait a minute. I compared this, whoopsie, we're off kilter. I compared this to the map on Google, and this is Des Moines right here. So we're over Des Moines. So we need to tune in our destination and land a plane. Kilo Indigo, Kilo Victor. Yep, see, look at that. There's an airport there. Kilo Indigo, Kilo Victor. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, we're like right there already, I think. Select a runway for landing. Based on the weather, we did 27 on the way out, so let's do 22. And announce full stop landing. Announce our position. And let's get landing. I think that's going to be it right in front of us. Maybe. Yeah, that's going to be it. Wow, do things happen fast. Oh, I tuned 8, didn't I? I did not mean to do that. I meant to go position, which is 2. How long did it take me to realize that? So, anyway, yeah, that came out of nowhere. Literally sitting here, zoned out for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, we're there. Oh my gosh, that was crazy and fast. Right, airport elevation is 909 feet, so we have to come down 3,000 feet, basically. There's your airport there. I believe that's your airport. Oh yeah, that's definitely it, because look. So runway 22 is going to be opposite the one we're facing, right? Yeah. So let's start coming down. And let's regain our composure. There's a big windmill right there. Wind turbine right in the middle. So yeah, regain our composure, because like I said, you get kind of zoned out after 2 hours and 45 minutes. Hand flying with all these storms, like it would be, I'd have everything trimmed for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden I go through a storm cloud and it would just go crazy. And then I get it retrimmed again, and then I would look around and then come back and I'd be slanted to the left or something. So quite an ordeal to do this. Not only a slow plane this long, but completely by hand. I didn't even bother trying the AI pilot a second time or anything. There's just no need to. Alrighty, so 22 should be opposite us, because if you look down here, that's about 22 right there. So let's announce our upwind or downwind leg. I guess we're doing a right traffic pattern. We have to get down to about 1,500 feet when we come on final here in a moment. Get my rudder pedals adjusted because I have my legs stretched out here. Let's have a peek. Where are we? There we go. We're gonna give ourselves a nice long final just because we want to. Oh boy, this would be awesome screenshot stuff, but not when we're trying to land. We're nose diving. I better be careful here. Isn't this awesome? Look at that. Have I been in Des Moines? I have been in Des Moines a few times. I guess we have time for a quick story while I prepare for landing here. I love, by the way, how you can see the lights based on the direction you're going. That is so cool. Oh gosh, it's raining, and we're better pay attention. Oh my gosh, we're only 500 feet above ground level. Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, Des Moines. So my dad was in, well, he's in a lot of rock bands growing up. He was in like 70s bands that did things I can't mention on YouTube, and a lot of crazy stuff he did. Gear's always down, first set of flaps are down. He was in a lot of bands like that. But then after he had kids, he calmed down a little bit, and then he was in 50s and 60s cover bands, which was a huge thing at the time. And one of the times we went to Des Moines for a huge event for New Year's. My mom went with, and they dragged us kids, my sister and me. We were pretty young, and they just left us in a hotel room for hours and hours. And yeah, that was my first time in Des Moines, and it was one of those hotels, like the Holiday Inn, where it's like 15 floors up and it's all open, and we're like on the top floor, and I was so scared of heights that I had to crawl like in and out of the room to get to the ice machine and stuff. It was horrible. My sister teased me because she didn't care, but it was horrible for me. And then I was in Des Moines as an adult with my wife for something, can't remember. And then when we were driving back from Denver, more flaps please, from Denver to Minneapolis without stopping, we just stopped in Des Moines for a bathroom break right off the highway. So I've been there twice, and then the third time just passing through. And I would tell more about the hotel thing as a kid, but not when I'm landing a plane. So here we go, full flaps if you hadn't realized it. I feel like we're crooked. Maybe it's the crosswind from the right. And wow, I'm so zoned out. It's really late at night. It's like after midnight. And I was staring at a screen for almost 3 hours, and now I suddenly have to land a plane. I never announced final, did I? Should we do it super quick so that it doesn't get mad at us? All right, here we go. Dumb time to announce, but whatever. Holy cow, this is really windy. Okay, here we go. This is crazy windy. Plus, oh, that's something else I did. Tease that stall horn. Come on. This wind. Oh my gosh, how did we get that down? That was a miracle. All right, anyway. What else did I do when we were flying? I adjusted all my sensitivities again. So I brought everything down to like -90 for sensitivity. And we're going to see how that goes. The plane did feel much, much, much heavier. And then it did like a 3% dead zone or something. So we'll see how that works over time. But flaps are in. Wow, crazy. That was tough to land. The wind and having new sensitivity. I should probably practice without weather first, or without wind first, before I start messing with stuff, but that's okay. I still need to adjust my... Uh-oh, don't crash now. Whoa, don't say don't crash. Alrighty, let's announce clear of runway. And... we'll park? Is it going to give us a taxi ribbon so we can park and get a credit?
Is clear of the runway.
Here we go. Okay. I want a taxi ribbon so that we can get credit for our landing. It won't give you one. It should give you one. I got one when I was doing an off-camera recording. Let's just go look over here and see if this is our lightsaber person. Whoop, that's not a road. Well, it is now. Oh dear. There's a lightsaber person. Okay, we don't need the taxi ribbon. Nice. Because remember from last video, you have to park at the lightsaber person or else you don't get credit for it. You do all that work for nothing. Again, once we finish these achievements, I'm not going to care about the logbook and all this stuff. This is just for the achievement stuff. Stop there. Okay, let's see if this counted. Oh my gosh, that was a long flight. I think I literally fell asleep in there, like, 10, 20 seconds. You know how that is? Like, fall asleep for 10, 20 seconds at a time. That's how I feel like. And do we get credit? There it is. Nice. 247? Yeah, in the air it was. Again, this is not, I don't know what time that is. It's not UTC. It's sim time is 3 a.m. And that's not the date either. Anyway, let's hop out. Let's go back, No, let's not, because I don't want to script the achievement. So we're actually just going to stop right here. Yeah, we're just going to stop right here, folks. I'm going to fly more of these off camera and get some other stuff for you on camera, I guess. I can't think. It's like midnight or something, 12:30 a.m. So that's it. You know the drill, right? Like, subscribe, leave a comment, blah, blah, blah. I will see you next time. And that's not how we end this, but that's how we're ending it today. I'll see you later.